for your time. I wanted to ask about you being named one of the 16 captains yesterday. Getting to this point in your career at Penn State, what does that represent to you?
Being named a captain is actually a true honor, just to think that, all my teammates and the staff members and coaches, I had amongst some of the people who had the most votes, and that count up, it just says like a lot, and it just makes me want to go harder for them, harder for my teammates and my coaches and everybody else. So yeah, I'm just very appreciative to have that that label under my name.
Rich Scarcella.
Good morning, Rasheed. What do you remember about your first start 2 years ago, and how would you compare to where you are now to where you were then as a player?
Oh shoot. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to think. Was the first start, was that against Idaho? I believe. I think it was Idaho, but my first start, it was just kind of, it was like just a crazy experience. Like, one, I was very excited. I was excited for my parents, because I know my parents, my freshman year, they used to always come to the games, but I didn't really play my freshman year. So I was just excited for my parents to actually come to see me play. And, just from there to now, it's just, it's a big difference, but kind of it's just, I'm just still just playing ball. Like, that's how I look at it. Like, it's still fine. I still get the same rush when I take the field. So yeah, it's just real cool. I'm just real grateful to just be in the position I am right now.
Donnie Collins.
Hey, Rasheed, how did the battle at guard shape up during the month from your perspective? Who really stood out to you?
Everyone stood out to me. Like, I know I'm really not supposed to really talk about answer personnel questions, but I would say everyone who's been taking out reps has been doing like a hell of a job. Like guys like Anthony Wiggins, Salim Wormley, like those guys really have been making impacts. We had a guard that transferred from Harvard named Eric Wilson. He's been doing this thing, like his transition from when he first came in the summer to now has been unbelievable. He looks like a whole different person. Des Holmes is doing very good. So it's kind of like, everybody's doing what they got to do at the guard position.
Seth Engel.
Hey, Rasheed. Yesterday it was announced that the depth chart won't be released this season. Can you tell me a little bit, what does that mean for the competition at the guard spot this year?
Oh, that really don't got nothing to do with me. I didn't even know that until you just told me. So, hey, like, I guess we'll just all have to see it on game day, because if the depth charts isn't being released.
Joe Giuliano.
Good morning, Rasheed. A lot is made about how the left tackle protects a quarterback's blind side. You've been doing it now for quite a while. What type of responsibility is that like, and what does it mean to you to be that prime protector?
Thank you. So since I've been playing offensive line, like I've always just taken pride of just protecting my quarterback's blind side and not letting my man beat me. And that's just like, I feel like I'm just a natural protector at heart. So I really just take pride in my job. Like before every game, even in practice, when we start jogging, we always go to Cliff like, I got you. And he'd be like, I know. So that's just, me and Cliff have a strong relationship. It's understood. He knows I got his back. I know he has my back. And I feel like that security that we have each other just lets us both play freely.
Greg Pickle.
Good morning, Rasheed.
Good morning.
What, if anything, would you say is different about the way things went during summer camp this year and now into game week compared to last year or even previous seasons? Is there anything that stands out to you either about the way you guys were approaching things or the camaraderie of the offensive line, anything along those lines that sticks out?
I think I can with that. We can go all the way back to winter workouts in spring ball, and I think like myself and a bunch of people, like we didn't realize how important spring ball was. You know, even besides the football aspect, but you know, just like that time to be around each other, you know, to build relationships, to you know, fellowship with each other, like that stuff plays a huge impact on how a team on like team chemistry. So, you know, spring ball, we had a great spring, which like set the foundation for and the expectations for the summer. And by the time we got the fall camp, everyone was locked in. Like everyone knew what the standard was. Like, you know, we have a thing where if you're not 10 minutes early to the to any type of meeting, you're late. Like so, stuff like that was already you know understood. So that kind of just I feel like this past spring that we had gave us an advantage and gave us an edge to have an even better camp.
David Eckert.
Hi, Rasheed. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thanks. Just following up on that. So, you know, given that you had that time, would you say that this team is closer, that those relationships are stronger?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, well, since I've been here, I feel like this is the, you know, this is like the closest team as far as relationships. Because like, since I've been here, it's you know, it's always been like the upperclassmen, lowerclassmen thing. But literally, like this year, it didn't matter who you were. Like freshman, senior, fifth year, walk on, everyone hung out together. Everyone spent quality time together. We all play basketball together. We all go out to eat together. We all go to the movies together. So it's just like, you know, we all have that relationship. Like no one's scared to, you know, call someone out. Like, for example, if someone sees me doing something, you know, that's not the standard, someone's going to say something to me and I'm not going to get offended because like that's just how all our relationships are. Now, so I feel like that's really going to translate to the field. Like I feel like we're going to be playing for each other more, if that makes sense. Because that's how our relationship is. Yeah.
Audrey Snyder.
Hey, Rasheed, thanks for your time. Glad to hear you're doing well.
Appreciate you.
I wanted to ask you about Anthony Wiggin. In what ways have you seen him grow? Because he's a guy now who's been here for a while.
Mm-hmm. Well, Anthony Wiggins doing great. Like, me and Anthony Wiggins, we go back all the way to like high school. I think my sophomore year, I played against him. He went to Great Mills, I went to North Point. So we played each other a couple years, like in high school. So, you know, when I found out he was coming to Penn State from JUCO, we were both real excited because like we'd already known each other. So, but since Anthony Wiggins been here, like his transition has been crazy. Like he came in as a tackle. Coach Trout got here, moved him to guard, and like when he got moved to guard, it kind of like his body started to take off. His technique's gotten better. He's gotten like way smarter with his like playbook and his fundamentals. So I think he's going to have a real good year, a real successful year.
New bias Wilborn.
Hey man, thanks for doing this, brother.
I appreciate no problem. Appreciate y'all having me.
Man, respect, man. What has it been like lining up against AK every day? And what have you noticed from him?
Oh, AK. First, I'm gonna say I'm happy he decided to come to Penn State because me and AK we've been getting some great work from the spring and the summer. Like one thing I say about AK, like he's gonna come to practice every day and give you everything he's got, and like I feel like that helped me develop this offseason, this spring and fall camp. And it also helped like the whole offensive line because one thing about AK, he's extremely fast. And, you know, when you're blocking someone that's that fast every day, it forces you to have to play faster. So and I can honestly say, I don't think I'm going to see anybody in the Big Ten that can move like AK. So, yeah. AK is a really good football player.
Mark Wogenrich. Mark, we can't hear you.
Better? You hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
Apologies. Sorry for that, Rasheed.
Oh,
Wanted
you're
to
fine.
ask you about, you just said something that you feel like you're going to be playing more for each other this year. When you say something like that, what do you think about? What causes you to say that?
Well, I mean, like I said, for example, like in practice, like everyone's like when we're doing like drills in practice, like, you know, one-on-one reps or 7-on-7 or just team pairs, like everyone's on the sideline, you know, chanting for each other, roaring for each other. Like guys are coming on off the field. Like, for example, if I'm coming off the field, I'll go to Olu and ask him what did he think about my technique? Like, what can I have done better? What did I not do? What did I do good? And he'll give me that type of feedback. And it's just like, just stuff like that can take you a long way. Like just little stuff like that. Cause I'm saying, like, if I come off the field and Olu sees something or notice something, he can communicate that with me and I can fix it. And then it can be a really good outcome that comes from it. So, I mean, that's kind of what I mean by that. That's just one aspect of that. So does that make sense?
We'll go to Tyler Donahue.
Rasheed, aside from AK, who has been consistently challenging you at that defensive end position? Who makes life difficult every practice and makes you better?
I mean, I don't know about making life difficult, but I mean, the guys that make me better, yeah, AK, Jesse Lucetta has had like a great camp transitioning to the DN's position. I think he's playing both linebacker and DN, but he's doing great. Guys like Smith Vilbert is doing a very good job. Like Smith's improvement from when he first got here to now is crazy. Nick Tauber has really stepped up and been doing his thing. Also, a lot of the interior guys, like I think from the class of 2020 or 2019, like Fatuma, Moba, he's doing great. Devon Elise has had a really good camp. Obviously, PJ Mustard's doing his thing. So, yeah, the D line they really been going crazy all camp.
Rich Scarcella.
Rasheed, what have you heard about playing at Camp Randall Stadium, and what is your anticipation like for this opener?
Well, I know I know Wisconsin is a really good football team. Personally, I haven't gotten to really play them. We played them my freshman year, but I didn't play that game. So I'm excited to be able to play like a good powerhouse football team. You know, Wisconsin has always had a good rep to their name. But as far as traveling, I'm just excited. Like I know I'm gonna play my game. I'm excited to showcase everything I've been like trying to work on this past offseason and everything my teammates have been trying to work on. And I'm just excited. I've never been to Wisconsin, so you know, everything is exciting for me. Season opener, new setting. It'll be fun.
Donnie Collins.
Rasheed, what is it specifically about Jesse Lucetta that's been impressive to you? What's he in this transition for him? What has he been especially good at that maybe surprises you?
Well, one thing I can say about Jesse Lucetta is like he's kind of like a perfectionist. I don't know if I said that right, but to sum it all up, like one thing he's going to be every move he makes, he's very smart. Like he's going to be very detailed. Like after every practice, like we'll take probably like 15 extra one-on-one reps, you know, just by ourselves because he just wanted to, you know, learn more about his new position he was playing. And literally like from the first practice and the last practice, it's like he's been a whole different person. Like he really learned how to use his body and play in the trenches. And he's also taking reps at linebacker, doing good at linebacker, making plays. So like Jesse's always been like a good playmaker for us. But I think by him adding the defensive end position to his toolbox, it's gonna really like help him progress to be an even better football player. And he's tough as nails too. That's one thing about Jesse I can say. He's very tough. Like you ain't never going to see him tapping his helmet to get out the game for nothing.
Joe Giuliano.
Jesse, Coach Franklin told us about the countdown clock you guys have had in training camp up to the first game. Was that like, can that be like a disadvantage because you guys might have gotten too excited about the game early, or did you have a nice, progressive flow toward, being at your peak for once you go to Wisconsin?
Oh, I mean, the clock. So the clock is just like, I remember like, excuse me, at one point the clock said it was 250 days to play Wisconsin. And, by that time we were still in our training phase and, every day, Coach Troutline would say we have X amount of days, so you blink your eyes, it goes from 240 days to 80 days to we play Wisconsin. You blink your eyes again, we still depositing days, banking days, working out, practicing, 40 days to Wisconsin. Then you look 11 days to Wisconsin. Now it's probably like 5 days to Wisconsin. So it's like, I wouldn't say it's a distraction, but it's just like, a reminder, like, this is what we're working for and it's almost here. So I wouldn't say it's a distraction at all. At least not for me. I wouldn't look at it as a distraction.
Time for two more. David Eckert.
Hey, Rasheed. I just wanted to ask you a little bit about the install process on offense. What was that like for you, kind of from your perspective on the offensive line? And did you find that challenging at all? Thanks.
Oh, can y'all hear the air conditioning just came on?
Sorry.
I said, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I mean, so with the install process, like, it wasn't really nothing new. Like, this is, I think our third offensive coordinator we've had. So, I mean, install process is kind of the same. You just got to forget everything you knew about the old offense and learn the new offense. It's really not that hard to do.
Last question, Audrey Snyder.
Rasheed, you mentioned Olu a few answers ago. How has he developed and progressed this preseason as well?
I think Olu, out of everybody, I think he may have had one of the better camps because, like, I literally remember it's probably only like the last 2 weeks of practice is kind of like he just clicked for him. Like, one thing about Olu, he's humongous. He's probably like 325, 330 pounds. He's only 18 years old. And he is ridiculously strong. So I think with Olu, all he had to do was learn how his body worked. And like the last few practices, like he's been taking like 1s and 2s reps. And he's really been like holding his own and sticking out, like, and doing his job and just really throwing guys around. And I know, like, Olu, he's a very smart guy. He wants to be great. He wants to get better every single day. Like, he does little stuff. Like, I noticed in the meeting room, he had I know he was working on his punch all camp. He wanted to get his punch better. So I noticed he started bringing one of those little grip springy things, and he'll work that all throughout meetings. And like these last few practices, like his punch has been crazy. Like he's been punching the air out of people. So I'm pretty sure like y'all gonna find out how Olu works in a few weeks because he's gonna really be helping us this season.